What is happening, you guys? Last week, I messed up just a little bit. I forgot. Well, you know what? I should probably actually double check that and make sure that I have the right sound. Let's see. It looks like I have the right sound. If anybody is watching right now, can you hear me? Just like a double check, just checking on it. I think we're good to go. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna roll with it. It seems like it's getting sound. So we're going to dive in today's topic, episode 1 of so many more to come. And we're going to be talking about why diet and exercise actually don't work, which is kind of a crazy concept for a lot of people because they're so focused on exercise and diet, and then they wonder why they're not getting the results that they're looking for, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So let me give you a quick background of why I'm here talking to you. My name is Joel. I'm the owner of Icon Fitness, and this group is called... Oh, Natasha, you can hear. She's saying that sometimes it cuts out. Well, we'll just we're going to keep rolling with it. And maybe it's a Wi-Fi thing, but we're just going to keep rolling with it. Thank you, Natasha, for telling me. I'm the owner of Icon Fitness. I come from a background of 10 years being in the health and fitness field, working at 2 of the largest CrossFit facilities in the United States, Double Edge. I also was a sports and conditioning coach up at North Valleys High School, where I also was a varsity football coach. I ran a company called Human Performance Project with Mike and Robbie. Shout out to those guys, where we put on CrossFit competitions kind of before CrossFit competitions were like a really big deal. So basically what I'm saying is that I have a lot of experience being around people when it comes to health and fitness, and specifically introducing people to health and fitness, which was one of my main jobs at Double Edge, was introducing people into the health and fitness world. And the problem that I ended up realizing after doing literally thousands of these one-on-one introductions was that people would come in almost every single time with the same goal. And this might resonate with you. I want to lose weight. I want to be able to have some more energy, and I want to feel strong again. The 1, 2, 3. Almost every single time. Very rarely would somebody come in and say like, hey, I want to climb a mountain. It's very specific. I'm coming in here. Here's my set goals. And so a lot of these times, when people came in, they were coming in with this, whether it was a guilt or a feeling that they needed to change. And what their focus was specifically on trying to change their exercise and diet. They knew, hey, I need to work out more and I need to cut out the sugars or the fats or the drinking. Well, I would talk to them about what they need to do in terms of their exercise. I would tell them what they need to change in terms of their diet. They would be super pumped up, jazzed, ready to rock and roll. And then, about a month later, they'd all of a sudden start kind of shying off or shying away. We wouldn't see them as much. And then they would, on average, show up about 2 times to 3 at the kind of at the max, to work out. Their nutrition was kind of shoddy here and there. And no matter what kind of macro program or what type of nutrition plan they were put on, it would only be temporary. It would only last so long. And here's the reason. It's because the individual that was coming into the gym was trying to rely on willpower alone. Let me first tell you, and this goes for everyone, that willpower does not work. Willpower is the ignition to light the flame. But without the fuel, you will eventually burn out. All of those people that you may have seen out there that, do these really hardcore challenges, that's not on willpower. What that is they actually create a habit, and that habit is probably something that has been instilled or established over a really long amount of time. And that's why they go through these, extreme challenges, or these people that run these crazy races and they constantly do it and they're on this great, shape and so on and so forth. There's a saying that we don't rise to the occasion. We fall back to our training or to our habits. And that's exactly what I started recognizing and realizing in the gym, is that these people were coming in with improper habits, lifestyle habits. So yes, they had the initial willpower to get to the gym, to show up, get through kind of being sore through these workouts, cut, these certain calories or macros or so on and so forth. But sooner or later, they would burn out because they had the willpower, they had the spark, but they didn't have the fuel to continue, and that fuel was their lifestyle. See, what they tried doing is they tried adding more into their cup than what they had available. So it just kind of came spilling out. To be able to change your health and your happiness, you have to let go of something. And if we're not willing to be able to let go of certain things in our lifestyle and learn new health techniques, then we're always, listen now, look it right here, we're always going to fall short. So with that in mind, thinking, man, that's why I yo-yo, that's why I go up and down. It's like I get started, I get juiced up, and then I kind of fade off, and then I feel bad about myself, and so then I end up getting jumped back on, and then I'm going to try to go, and there's this cycle, right? We all know the cycle. We've all been on it before. We have friends that have been on it. We have family members that have been on it, right? Why doesn't it work? It does not work. Exercise, nutrition doesn't work unless we have our lifestyle under wraps. So when it comes to working with somebody, the very first thing that I do is I have them go over their week with me. So it's basically like a full week audit. It's a lifestyle audit. And what we find is that there is no room or time to be able to invest into exercise and into nutrition, let alone that their eating times are randomly and sporadically, that they may be eating multiple meals through the day or skipping meals throughout the day, that their sleep is very periodically, 6 hours one day, 9 hours another day, 4 hours another day. This is all creating crazy chaos in our day-to-day life. So what we have to do is we have to take an honest look at our current lifestyle. What are we doing throughout the day that's moving us towards our goal? And if we have a goal of going, I want to lose weight, I want to not have type 2 diabetes, I don't want to die young. I want to live as long as I can. That's not temporary stuff. That's something that needs to become part of who you are. It's a lifestyle change. It's not just something reactive. Oh, I've put on a few pounds, I'm going to take off a few pounds. Right? That's not making a lifestyle change. That's just going, hey, I'll have this willpower just for a small amount of time. I'll go do it, and then I'm going to lose it, right? And so what the first step is creating that awareness that there's something in your life that is going to most likely have to shift or change for you to be able to commit to a lifestyle of fitness and exercise. So what are some things, some tangible things? I'm not going to keep you guys super long here. What are some tangible things that you can start working on right now? The first thing that I would say is, if you are trying to work with your new nutrition and new health, right? You want to be able to lose some weight. You want to be able to eat better. You want that to become part of who you are. Then the first thing that you need to do is to be able to recognize where you want to go. It needs to be very specific of where you want to be. And this should be something that, again, that you're looking for a lifestyle change. You're not just looking at like, oh, lose 5 pounds. Lose 5 pounds and that's it. That will be the result of changing the lifestyle. But that goal by itself is only temporary. So being able to create a goal of, I am the type of person who exercises every day or moves every day. That could be 10 to 15 minutes of movement, right? Or I'm the type of person who eats whole foods at every meal. I always eat fruits and vegetables at every single meal. That's my goal. I'm going to get to that point where I eat fruits and vegetables at every single meal, right? And so it's these type of goals that you need to kind of take a look at. And then you need to make sure, what's the time that's going to take for those goals? If you're trying to move every single day for 15 minutes, you have to make sure every single day you have 15 minutes in your schedule in which you can move, plus probably another 15 minutes to switch in and out of, your athletic gear, depending on how much moving you're doing, right? Some people can do 2 miles in sub 15 minutes, right? Other people might walk half a mile in 15 minutes, right? It's all very dependent, but you have to make sure that you have that time, whether you're just walking after having your lunch or you're actually strapping on your shoes and trying to run a sub 6 minute mile for 2 miles. The next thing, after you've looked at that time when it comes to that exercise, is also, if you're going to do nutrition, what is it going to take with nutrition? If it's whole foods and you have to cut up your whole foods and you have to prepare them, how much time is that going to take? And you need to be able to look at your planner and be able to start saying, okay, in a week's time, even if it was 15 minutes plus another 15 minutes in terms of transition and so on and so forth, you're talking about, what are we at? 3.5 hours? 3.5 hours in your week that you have to be able to create. You have to open up that space. Then if we're talking about nutrition, we're going to have to open up space for nutrition as well. Going to the grocery store, right? Creating a grocery list. What are the things that we're going to eat? Preparing those vegetables. What are my meals going to look like? Making sure that those meals are prepped and prepared. That can probably last anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour every single day. So now we're roughly looking at, we'll say 7 to 8 hours. We'll say just 8 hours on nutrition and fitness alone, if that's exercising every day for 15 minutes, not a ton, and we're preparing our nutrition every single day. That's 7 hours that you're going to have to figure out where to put into your life. And so if you're currently living by this clock with just your normal lifestyle, guess what? There's only 24 hours in the day. You're going to have to get rid of something. Whether that's watching TV, whether that's spending extra time at the office, you're going to have to figure it out. And you're going to have to say goodbye to that. Because if you want this to become part of your lifestyle, you know a minimum of 8 hours has to be dedicated to your health every single week. And so if you know that you have 8 hours that's dedicated for your exercise and nutrition, then you better make sure that you find that time. And if you don't have a planner, this is also something we work on in the 12-week Icon program. If you don't have a planner, then I can almost guarantee that your day owns you almost every single day instead of you owning your day. And we'll dive into another topic like that in an episode later and how important it is to be able to have your planner. But the point today is that for your exercise and for your nutrition to be able to work, you have to be able to create room for it. And you have to start, and I highly suggest this, you have to start small. Very, very small. That's why I'm giving you 15 minutes. That's why I'm saying 15 minutes. Because what you do consistently creates the greatest change. It's called the marginal gain theory. If you want to look it up, it's an awesome article to read. And it's a 1% change over time eventually ends up compounding on itself, like compounding interest. And you start getting these massive changes. Because the problem is that everybody wants to do it really, really, really quick. They want it right now. I want it right now. But that's not how it works. If you do an extreme weight loss or an extreme exercise regimen, there will be a adverse or extreme change on the opposite side, which messes with our hormones and our bodies and puts us into a really poor position of continuing to gain weight and to be out of shape. So that is the homework. If you're listening to this, is I challenge you to try to move every single day for 15 minutes. If you're already on an exercise regimen, fantastic. Add in 15 minutes. That can be a 1 mile jog. That can be a 1 mile walk. That can be riding your bike or taking a walk. But we should be moving every single day. So try to incorporate that, and only do that after you've looked at your schedule and thought to yourself, what is something I can eliminate and that this can become part of my lifestyle? This is not short term. This is looking into your future and going, hey, every morning I know I can get 15 minutes. Or every lunch I know I can get 15 minutes. I just know it. It's in there. Then do the same thing for your nutrition. If you want to start off with that goal of the whole foods, fruits and vegetables every single meal. To be able to do that, you're going to have to make sure that you prepare those fruits and vegetables to take with you to work, to have with you at breakfast, and to be able to eat at dinner. Figure out how much time that takes. Figure out what that's going to cost you and what you're going to have to give up to be able to establish that in your life. Start off small. You start off big, you might get big results, but it will fade off and it will create a terrible cycle for you moving into the future. And check out the marginal gains theory. If you haven't read the marginal gains theory, it's like literally something that I live my life by. If I don't feel like I can do it for the rest of my life, then I really take a step back and go, I don't know, unless it's a short-term goal that I know is only going to be a small amount of time, right? Intermittent fasting, 24 hours. I know it's going to be 24 hours. I can't intermittent fast 24 hours for the rest of my life, or I'd wither away and die. So that's the homework. Give that a shot. Try it out. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, joel@iconfitness.com. Also, big news, my website just launched. You can check that out at www.iconfitness.com. Let me know what you think. And other than that, I will see you guys next week, episode 2, where we'll be talking about, well, I don't know what we're going to be talking about quite yet. There was a few things that kind of flipped into my head while going through this. But we'll talk about something that's going to benefit your health and your happiness. This is the Icon Blueprint, and we'll see you, and there's nobody else around here. I will see you next week.